Good day everyone. In today's video we're going to be going over the key mapping for Gameloop emulator for COD Mobile, all the different key bindings for it. As many of you guys know, it has been broken since the recent update in the Black Ops map has dropped. So after a lot of research online, different YouTube videos, experimenting on my own, I kind of came up with a process that works well for me. So I'm going to walk you guys through it. Hopefully this video helps you all be able to understand a little bit how to fix this. Hopefully soon they'll come out with a fix. So every time I've messaged them, they say they're working on it. I've yet to see any significant fix that makes it playable yet in Gameloop. So this way, I'm going to show you, we'll make it to where you will be able to go into the game, have a separate key binding set for your Battle Royale, and then hopefully once the updates come, you can go back to the normal Battle Royale and test it back and forth to see what's being fixed and what isn't being fixed. Um, this is what works best for me. Obviously, different people have different key bindings, so whatever works best for you, you add that key there. These are the keys that work good for me and that help me play the game. I can play pretty smooth now. There's still a little bit of lag and glitches here and there that come with it, but for the most part, it's a pretty solid game and you won't have any problems with it. So as we're going to see, we're going to be jumping in. I didn't realize I had updated it. That's one thing you have to remember. Every time the game updates itself through Gameloop or Gameloop updates itself, it seems like I have to come in and redo all my key bindings and redo the key mapping. It's annoying, but I've got a pretty smooth system now. Now what really will help is if you have a friend that can go and do a custom lobby with you, and you two can create a custom lobby, and then you can use the entire lobby, not worried about getting shot by bots or anybody, and fix the key bindings that way and do different things that way. I didn't have anybody online at this time when I did this, so this is how I ended up doing it. Worked pretty well. You're going to end up having to go to the middle of nowhere, and as you can see, little pieces of it have been fixed. So little things have been fixed, but there's still a lot messed up. As I go along in this video, I'm starting to see that things were broken again. I'm realizing what had happened with the updates. I'm realizing, hey, I'm going to have to redo my key mapping here. It's super frustrating, but at least now I know in the future, every time I update it, I'm going to have to do this. Like I said, I think I've got a pretty good, smooth idea of what I'm doing now and how to do it. Once they get the key bindings fixed, hopefully it's soon, I think I found a way to actually adjust a couple of my key bindings that'll help with my gameplay later on. And so like I said, I sort of kind of understand now a little bit more about key bindings and how they work. So if you have any tips or any suggestions, hey, leave them in the comments. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Let me know. If you enjoy this video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll try to do more of these videos as they come along. Hopefully I don't have to do a whole lot of videos on how to fix key bindings and game mistakes, but it seems like every update that's dropped for the past couple of seasons have been just one nightmare of having to fix problems after another. So a big thing is going to be your OB and Battle Royale. Okay, now I'm going to eventually quit this game and go into a solo game and land in the middle of nowhere and fix this. But those two settings, well, you'll see closer, OB and Battle Royale. You're going to leave your battle. When I first started doing this, I did all the changes on Battle Royale, and it got confusing looking at screenshots, pictures of how the original setup was so I could see. And then I found out, I have this custom one I can use, OB, custom that to the way I want it to, and it'll work just fine. And that's what I did. One disclaimer that I know of right now, I cannot get the F key to work to pick up and like open stuff like you normally can get it to do. I can't get the F key to work with what I've been able to experience. Now, some of you may be able to know how to program that differently. By all means, let me know. I used it to be able, I was able to program the F key to be able to pick up loot, but as getting in and out of your vehicles, I've been unable to do. I'll explain to you too how to get in and out of vehicles. I found this out actually only a couple days ago, and that was just a comment on some Facebook post that I was just reading through all the comments, and I've only seen that comment once, and it actually worked. I was kind of surprised. I didn't think it would work. I tried it out, and this will make you be able to use vehicles. Helicopters are still glitched. Have not been able to get in, drive a helicopter. So just as a warning, you can fly in helicopters and get out of them as a passenger, but you cannot drive them. I don't know why. I don't know how long it's going to be till you'll be able to do that, but that's been my experience. I've tried it a couple times and played around with it. You will be having to use your mouse a decent amount, but I've been able to cut that back down, like I said, with a lot of the key bindings. So hopefully in the future that'll be even more or less, and you could just use a lot more of your keyboard like we're not used to doing before this recent update. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to back out. I'm going to get ready to go in. I'm going to go to my OB section here. I'm going to hit reset to make sure that all those are going to be the same. And then I'm going to hit to my OB, and I'm going to just start deleting everything. I'm going to unclick all of those. I'm going to go through and exit out of every single one of these. And I will be manually putting them back in. Like I said, doing this step ahead of time will save you time in the middle of a game when you're doing this and you're not under the pressure. Like I said, best if you can do this in the custom lobby. If not, I would recommend solos because there's not a whole lot of real players in solos, so you're not having to worry about dying. And usually, if you land in an out-of-the-way place, you have a minute or so before a bot will spawn on you, and you can just be able to at least fight him, kill him, and then continue on as you go. As you will see, there'll be a couple bots that will spawn in on me, which is kind of annoying, but that will happen. So here, I get it all set. I'm going to switch to solos like I said. I'm going to hit start. Once I get in, I'm going to go back up to my top corner and I'm going to get my key bindings back out. Okay, and this is where I know where some of them are. I know a lot of my key bindings, as I've done this a couple of times. As you can see, you can use your mouse to move around, but nothing else works. Absolutely nothing else. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to hit all these check marks, get these back going. I use control for my ability to lock my mouse and unlock it. That's what I've always used from the beginning. For whatever reason, it has your right click as your control for unlocking and locking your mouse. So that's what I do. I switch those. So now I can move and I can run. I can unlock and unlock my computer with my control. I'm going to come to the corner. I'm going to check. Yep, that's where the M's at. Now it's important to put your map. That's what I use for my map. It's important to put it in that corner. I've tried it different places on that mapping part there, which will work, but you can't close it. If you put it there, you'll be able to open and close your map with your M key. So some of these places it's important to put the location right there because that's what's going to control what you do. Obviously, I have to jump in here. So I played around with putting an F key here. I ended up wanting to use my F key somewhere else, so I took it off because let's be honest, it's easy to unlock your mouse and hit drop and lock and relock your mouse. So I wish you could multi-use the key for different things. Unable to, as of right now, to do that, so I'm stuck with it right here. But I'm going to drop somewhere in the middle of nowhere, drop into a house that has some loot, because I'm going to be needing to use that loot to create key bindings later. As you can see, I can control, I can't slide, I can't jump, but I can at least move in the game. Okay. So, once this comes in, I'm going to start moving that control key. It's important to not move it too far. That's the perfect spot, because if it's too close to the eye that is there, that creates your to be able to look around, you'll be middle of running and that thing will start going. You'll start fighting with it the entire game. I had a lot of problems to start with because it kept connecting. Every time I would hit that, it would connect with that, and I was just one battle after another. Occasionally it'll do it, barely ever now, but occasionally we'll do that. If it's doing it, you can still play a game. You'll fight it. You just gotta know you have to unbind your mouse, rebind it real quick, and that'll fix it. Okay. As you can see, I'm gonna put my R for reload. That's what I use for my reload there. I've got my tab for my backpack. Obviously, if you use different things to reload or different things for your backpack, you can do what you want. But this is what I'm doing. I'm going to manually use them all in. 1, 2. I've been unable to successfully get the mouse to work consistently for rolling back and forth, which is kind of a pain. It is slower to switch weapons, which has been a little bit frustrating. So I will warn you that switching weapons is pretty slower because you actually have to obviously hit the 1 or the 2 to switch weapon instead of just scrolling up and down on your wheel for your mouse. But like I said, it's doable. It's definitely playable. I got a bot here I have to go kill. So your throwables. I haven't been able to test this. I want to test this, but you don't have to put your 4, 5, and 6 there because of the way the key bindings are work. I'm pretty sure you can just put Q and that'll be used for whatever one you have equipped. So I went on some later gameplay and I just hit Q because I'm clicking on that button there according to the computer. It worked just fine. So Q works really well. It's really easy for me to hit Q because that's a button I use a lot in other games for heals and different things. So the Q for throwables has helped me out a lot. Same thing for heals. You probably don't have to put all those numbers in. I just did it if as the game works. Eventually I'm hoping they fix it and your heals are attached to those numbers. So hopefully over time those will get fixed and will work a lot better. Obviously your V to switch between first person and third person viewing. Okay. I might end up getting rid of those voice commands ones. It was easy for when I'm streaming to be able to mute myself in game, unmute myself, but they haven't been working as well as they did. So I got to play around with those a little bit more. I may end up getting rid of those voice commands. Another bot. Like I said, just standing there, you'll have bots spawn on you. So super easy to kill though. Now I have my X to ping. That's all been working. So like I said, you got to manually just create it. As you come along, if there's something you want to use, open it up, create it. I'm going to find a vehicle now because I've got everything that I want. I manually inputted my F, G, and H. Now those won't work when you're looting a box. That's just a disclaimer. You're going to struggle picking up loot when you're looting a box because you can only program there. The box is wide. But it works really well this way to pick up floor loot, which is where you're usually rushing a lot more. You're going to add your space. You want it in that location. That's an important one. You can't just put a space bar in the middle somewhere, like over by the control key. You can't put it there. So you're going to want your space bar where I have it right there. And then you're going to want your C for your slide or whatever button you use to slide. You're going to want that where I have my C there in that location. Now I can slide cancel. I can slide down the mountains. I can jump. I can mantle different things, climb out windows. That's all fixed. This setup here is pretty much everything you're going to need to play the game. Okay, you'll be able to play the game with this. Is it as perfect as when Gameloop was completely unbroken and you had no problems with your key mapping? No. Is it definitely playable and you can play at a high level with this? Yes, for sure. Once again, I added my E key for my skill. Once again, if you use a different key for this, put whatever you use for your skill there. You don't have to use these different keys just because I'm using them. These are the ones I use when I play a game. I use all these A, B, D, C, D, like all these. So that's what I do. Come to your car. This is big. Come to your car. If you want to put a key in there to get in and out quick, you can. Okay. I put B. I think I don't ever use B. I think I always end up clicking it. Now, I didn't program a key, but E, whenever you tap E, you will automatically get in and out of the car. Okay? You don't have a brake. I haven't programmed anything for the brake yet. If you want to put a key in for the brake, feel free to do so. I haven't, because I can just hit my S key, which is reverse, and I can slow the vehicle down and use the vehicle that way. Okay, so to me, not that biggie of a deal. Now I'm just kind of testing, making sure the keys are working okay here. Everything looks good. You can slide, you can jump. I've got my 90 field of vision on. My FOV is on 90. I can see good. It feels fast. I can jump. Everything looks good. As you can see, I'm pointing out that eye there. You want to keep your keys away that as much as possible, because that'll throw you off if there's one there and it triggers that eye, which unfortunately I've had happen. Now I switch. Now the right click sometimes doesn't work, so what you got to do is you got to undo your key binding and then redo your not undo your key binding, but redo your mouse. So you hit your control, then re-hit it again, and you unlock and lock your mouse. That'll fix the ADS, and then you can ADS in. Also, I found out, which has been a little bit harder for me to do, if I double tap F, it'll ADS for me. Guaranteed. So that is one thing I've died in a couple videos because I'm trying to get used to doing it, is just double tap my F and ADSing, because I can't always rely on my right mouse button because it is glitched. It's a 50-50 shot right now if that'll work. I've coming to find out that it's not reliable unless I quickly can hit the control, realign it, control back and forth. It'll work. But if I double tap F, it'll work. If I have to quickly switch guns, I can just hit my 2 while I'm in it. It'll un-ADS, equip your new weapon, and it'll work out good. Okay, also, for whatever reason, if you want to hit your horn, if you hit your spacebar here, it'll do your horn. It's not programmed, but your spacebar key is there for your jumping. So if you want to do that, spam your spacebar, and it'll work good. If you want to program a button for your brake, you can see your brake when you're in the vehicle. That's where you'd want to put whatever key binding you want to add to your brake. Like I said, you can really do without it because you can use reverse as a brake, and it works just as well. And it's one last key you're trying to remember to hit. Okay, so I try to do this with the least amount of keys as possible. Obviously, I could go through probably everything here and create a key for everything, but then at that point you're just having to think of a lot. So this is the simplest way for me that I've been able to come up with and get done. Okay, I think this is where I get shit on. I shouldn't have thrown that. But this is how I have programmed my key bindings. It was worked well. I've played a lot of matches. I've hit Grandmaster tier now for ranking. Like I said, I grinded it a lot today, right before I made this video. Troubleshoot it. It works well. If you have any problems, message me, let me know. You can hit my Facebook page up, shoot a message there, shoot a message in the comments here. It's Arctic Warrior 110 on Facebook or here. Let me know. If you have problems, I can look and see if I can figure it out and work on it and help you with it, okay? Also, if you like the video, hit subscribe, hit a like. It's free to do, easy. Hopefully you have good games, everything works out well, and you can play your game and have fun, okay? Ultimately, that's what we do. So that's the end of this video. It's a little bit longer, but I wanted to make sure you guys got everything in here and you have everything you need to be able to do your key mapping. Until the next video I post, hopefully you guys have a great evening, great day, wherever you are. See you all on the next one.